Okay, well, hello everybody. Welcome to 21 Days with Essential Oils, Miracles with Essential Oils. Today, another wonderful woman who's had a miracle in her life with the essential oils. I want to welcome Peg. Well, Peg, it's so good to have you here on this call today.
Hello, Anne-Marie.
I've only met Peg a couple of times. She lives a little bit further, and she lives in the Norfolk area, Virginia area, so a little bit further from me. But I know her through my good friend Megan. Peg has 10 kids, believe it or not, and she's been using the oils with that. Yeah, I know that's a lot for a lot of us, dear. It's a lot of people to take care of and to love. So you've been using the oils for how long? How long have you actually been using?
Specifically, doTERRA oils I have been using since March of 2016.
Okay. And before that, I know you've used oils for a much longer time.
Yes, on and off. I've been using essential oils for the better part of 20 years.
Wow, that's a really long time. Tell me about your oils use. Tell me how you've used the oils in your family. What's been some things that's been really good for using the oils in your family? Can you tell us a little more about it?
Okay, yeah. Well, of recent, I will share some of the stories that I have used. Well, we've had this really nasty stomach virus going through our household, and one of the first kits that I got with doTERRA was the family physician kit, in which I used the Digest Zen. My 9-year-old had this stomach bug, and it literally hung around for the better part of 6 days, and he came to me one night, and he was just so uncomfortable, and I just and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just instinctively went to my family physician kit, grabbed the Digest Zen, and I put a little bit on his stomach. I didn't want to try to give him anything to eat, and I just kind of instinctively went and started working on his feet, and within 10 minutes he was quiet and peaceful, just laying peacefully and quiet next to me. I love that, it gives me something that I can do that is not going to be so invasive to his digestive system or any other part of his body. And it gives me power as his mom to do what I need to make him comfortable. Other stories, this was a little bit earlier, back in late summer, August time. My 4-year-old had contracted pneumonia. We were swimming at a public pool, and I guess the water wasn't clear. And as you know, little kids, when they're swimming, they ingest the water. Within 3 days, she had labored breathing. Now, fortunately for me, I was home alone at the time. My husband was away with his military duty during all of this, so I was the only parent at the time, so hospitalizing her would have just been a horrible thing. She didn't have to be hospitalized, but they put her on an antibiotic course to clear up the bacterial infection. But again, I still had my family physician kit, so then I started working with her, and I started using the Breathe oil. And as she was a small child, I would rub it on her feet, and it brought her a great deal of comfort. And after doing a little bit of work with her, say if I put it on her at nighttime, in the morning time, she was able to dispel a lot of the phlegm that was down into her lungs, and she had a full recovery from that within 4 weeks, which is I think it's a success story. And just like my 9-year-old, it was great for me because it gave me the opportunity. I didn't abandon the medical care that was needed. She was on a course of antibiotics, and I know that was a necessary part, but it also gave me a little bit more power to help and to connect with my child and be an active part of their healing. And that to me is what I think draws me to doTERRA. Another miraculous, if you will, I don't necessarily call it miraculous, but it certainly is a wonderful thing, is the emotional kit. The emotional kit was the second set of oils that I had bought through my LRP order, and it definitely came into my life at the right time. And as a matter of fact, for the next, so let's see, I got my LRP with the emotional kit probably back in May of 2016.
Mhm.
And then, it got ahead of me and I didn't change the order. So the next month, another emotional kit was sent to me, and then another emotional kit was sent to me after that, because that's when I, like I said, was in the throes of the whole pneumonia thing with my daughter. Well, that was a divine accident, because I ended up giving one of those extra kits to my 23-year-old daughter, who is going through a very difficult time in her life right about now. And I remember her coming over, and she was just so distraught, just so upset. And I said, "Look here, Amanda, just let me introduce this to you, because it had also helped me. When I get stressed out, I will go to the oils, and I don't necessarily have something in mind with the actual set of oils. I just kind of open them up and I smell them, and I just kind of let my intuition guide me to whatever I feel is going to help me. Well, I kind of introduced it to her in that way. I said, Amanda, I want you to open these up, and I want you to find what's going to work for you, what speaks to you. And a similar situation is when my children had physical ailments. Within 10 minutes, she was peaceful. She was able to talk to me. She was able to just relax and just express whatever was bothering her. And again, to me, the miracle is that I didn't have to go into a great long and lengthy explanation about what the oils are, and the whole composition and the science behind it. I didn't have to convince her of anything. It was just I had I connected to her own intuition, and as I connected with my children with their healing elements, I was able to also be a part in connecting with her as well, and helping her overcome and express whatever it was that was bothering her. So that to me is just, that's what I like about it. That's where I feel the miracle truly is. It's just connecting to the people in my life that I love and care for.
Yeah. And I so recognize it. I'm going to share a screen for a second about the essential oils, and we can talk a little bit more about them. But I
Okay.
absolutely will say, in terms of my kids too, even last night, I started talking with my kids and giving them a back rub, right? And just really feeling that connection with our children through very easy means, just putting an oil on them. And I think it's a miracle. That's the miracle for me as well. More than
Yeah.
I love that. If you look
Yeah.
at these oils, and I just put them out here,
Mm-hmm.
is any of these oils? So these are the kind of 6 blends that Tara has put out with all kind of different oils in them. And we don't have the time in these next 10 minutes that we have to do this to talk about specifically about all the oils and what's all the oils that are in them, because every single bottle has several oils in them, and I love them.
Sure.
Is there any oil that you love more? Anything else of these 6 oils?
Again, it's hard for me to choose one. What like to do with my oils, I also like to blend them. So, and since these are oil blends, I find that some are compatible with that. Um, I often reach for console.
Mm.
Um, but I mean, it's not like I specifically feel like I need to be consoled. Again, I just kind of let my intuition guide me to where I need to be. Another example is if I'm feeling kind of groggy or mentally fuzzy, and not able to really focus and accomplish the many things I need to do in my day. I'll go for something like Motivate or Cheer that has a little bit more uplifting and a little more citrusy types of notes, and energizing. But I've like drawn to Console, probably because my father died recently, and so I'm still, going through the whole grieving process with that, and that's where the emotional kit had also helped me as well. I had a really low point when it was a year anniversary of when he had died, and he had lived a full life. He was 84 years old, but I was very close to my father. He was a very big part of my life. He was a very big supporter of me in the many things that I do and still do. In the arts fields and just in my everyday life. We were very closely connected. So, I mean, I miss that connection with him, definitely, for sure. And so that's probably why I've been drawn to Console oil in helping to just to find comfort and peace, and just grounding in some of those difficult times.
Right. Yeah. And I can see it. And Console is the comforting blend. So, and it has beautiful, beautiful comforting components as well. How do you mostly use it? Like, all of these emotional blends cannot be taken internally. They're not meant to be taken internally. Although
No,
there's certain oils like peppermint who can work, which you can take internally, which are good for mood.
mhm.
But these are to be taken either by diffusing or externally. Any ways that you prefer to take them?
Um, I like to diffuse at night. I have an air diffuser. It's not the actual doTERRA air diffuser, but I use it very frequently. And Console is usually the base of my blend. And if it's a nighttime that I'm diffusing it, then I'll add a little bit of lavender just to kind of, bring on a more restful sleep. Um, if I am, during my day and I'm out and about or I'm getting ready to do something, again, letting my intuition guide me, I will put the oils on my hands and smell it. Sometimes I'll put it in different chakra points, depending on what I'm feeling at the time. But I always want to have it somewhere where I can smell it. And as a matter of fact, I don't have my bag here. I brought it downstairs, but I bought the small. It's like a neoprene case for where you put 8 little bottles, and I have some of the emotional oils that I use frequently that I have them with me all the time, and it's in a safe location. It's not going to leak out or come undone in my purse.
Mm-hmm.
So I have it there. But for me, the most important and useful way of having the emotional kit is, like I said, where I can smell it. I mean, it really just getting it into my mind, because because it's not just smelling it, but I also use it as a way to kind of meditate on whatever it is that I'm feeling, that I feel like I need to go to the oil. What is it? What is it that this oil wants me to address, or what is it inside me that needs to come out or be or have attention given, that this oil is going to be an instrument to that. And I mean, I don't have to like sit there and shut out the world and fold my legs and say alms when I'm meditating. I mean, I will be going about my regular business throughout the day and just be in my mind thinking of, okay, why am I drawn to this oil? And I often find it teaches me what it is that I need to pay attention to.
Awesome. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
another wonderful messenger. It's a beautiful messenger. I'm curious, looking forward. I know you've been working a lot with seniors as well lately, so that's been really fun. I think really
Love that population. Oh my gosh. Yes, love my ladies.
So why do you do that? Just real quickly, where do you do?
Why?
No, where?
Where? There's in a couple towns over from where we live, a city called Portsmouth, Virginia, and it's a Beasley Senior Center, and it's like a community center where people come and they can take different classes. They have art classes there. They have exercise classes, dance classes, and of course, educational classes, and then fun things like bingo and different card games and such. And it's just they come in and you can tell that there's a nice camaraderie and a very positive feeling there. And they come and leave. It's not like a daycare center where they have ambulatory issues. While some of them do have ambulatory issues, these ladies just come in and out, and and men, but mostly ladies, and they just they're so interested and engaged in the class. They are, wow. Like I said before we started recording, I feel like I learned more from them than they from me in working with the oils.
Awesome. If you would say anybody, to either your friends or family, because I'm kind of wrapping up this time here together. If
Sure.
you would have one message to them, I ask everybody this, and one message about the oils towards your friends and family, or the senior center ladies, what would you say? What would you say to people about them?
Wow, that's a big question, and I did actually give it a great deal of thought. My one message would be this: that first and foremost, the oils will not ever and should never replace medical care, or it is not used to diagnose or treat something or replace any treatments given by your medical professional in your life. But what it will do for you, whether on the emotional level or physically on the physical and health level, is it will give you power to bring healing into your life, whether emotional healing or physical healing. And that has been the experience I have had. And I, yeah, just it's all about healing, and also it's, I touched upon a little bit of how it brings awareness, awareness of myself, and awareness that I have and connection in working with my children. So, but it's empowering to me.
Awesome. Love it. Well, thanks so much, dear. Thanks so much
Oh,
for
you're welcome.
you have amazing stories, and I'm sure that
Thank
as you
you.
go on with the seniors and with your kids and with every friends and family, you'll have more stories to tell. I'm kind of looking forward to being
You're
part
good
of that
friend.
and
Oh,
hearing.
thank you. Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, thank you, Anne Marie.
and then we'll talk soon again.
Sounds good. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.